Bitch, we gonna need all the strength and stamina we can to run the hell up out this country if this man win this thing. Drop down in the description box and click this link to get your NutriBurst daily liquid vitamin and some of this detox tea so we could be healthy when we set up our new life in another damn country. Bah. Nessa girl, we ain't even got all the election results in just yet, but just like I predicted, Florida done fucked everything. Okay, and in particular, South Florida. Now, a lot of people are baffled about the Latino vote and why it skews Republican and Donald Trump. And I've got several theories on it. Want to talk about it? Here it goes. Nessa girl, we are sitting here still waiting on these election results. The people said we probably not going to get them till Thursday or Friday. Then they say it's probably going to be 4 recounts in 4 different states. But all is looking really optimistic and really favorable towards Joe Biden. For some reason, I do feel really good. But as usual, Florida done fucked up the thing. And a lot of people are having a hard time, particularly black people, understanding why it is with all of the propaganda and all of the things that Donald Trump has said about what we perceive to be the Latin community, why the Latin community in South Florida, you know, skew towards Trump, and Latinos for Trump, so on and so forth. So, you know, I want to start out by saying I'm not a member of the Latin community and I do not know what their needs are, number one. Perhaps he does meet their needs. I doubt it highly. Y'all doubt it highly. First things first, you know, number one, just like black people or black Americans, we don't take up the Haitian cause, the Jamaican cause, the African cause, the Nigerian cause. The same holds true in the Latin community. Trump, in particular, went after the Mexicans. So, in our eyes, they all speak Spanish and we lump all their ass the same. Quiet as it's kept. If you're from Miami, bitch, you know it's all called Spanish. It ain't no distinction, bitch. It ain't no Venezuelan. It ain't no South American. It ain't no Colombian. Bitch, I was at Target and I got into it with this Spanish bitch. It's all Spanish, okay? But not in their world. So number one, they do a very good job, in my opinion, of separating themselves by respective countries. That's number one. So they're able to disassociate. He talking about them over there. He ain't talking about us. He like the kind like us. Although we standing in the background looking at them laughing, saying, y'all silly, because to him, all of y'all are one and the same. Nevertheless, I digress. But here is what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about the psychology of it all. The psychology and the psychology of racism. No fault of our own, but black people and people of African descent have a bad global reputation. Anti-blackness is real and runs rampant in every country. Colorism runs real in every country. Nobody wants to be black, other than in Africa. But wherever you go, black is always associated with low class, poor, uneducated, less desirable. Coupled with the fact that America's biggest, most notable claim to fame is slavery, Jim Crow, racism. That is what we are known for globally. Follow me here. So now you are somebody who lives in another country. You've never been to America. All you get is a couple of American shows that may play in your city, your country. You get a couple of American commercials, maybe a couple Vogue magazines or whatever the case may be. And what do you see in traditional American media? You see white culture being glamorized. coupled with the fact the propaganda campaigns that have been launched against black people forever and a day, ain't no telling what all preconceived notions and what all these people don't heard in their respective countries about black people. So quite naturally, from a psychological perspective, when you come to America, not knowing anything, not being exposed, having very little exposure and experience with black people, you don't want to associate, because all that's been ingrained in your head was that they're bad, they're wrong, they're poor, they're uneducated, they're ugly, they're all the things. You don't want to associate, and while it's hurtful, it's basic human psychology. You know, step outside of yourself for a moment, and let's just say we're getting ready to relocate to Afghanistan. And all you hear is that this group of people over here, they the Taliban and they this and they that. Hell, we don't know no better. So when we get over there, we don't want to fuck with them people. Unbeknownst to us, them people are great. They're this, they're that, they are all these marvelous things, but you only go off of what you've been told and what's been fed to you. So they come over here and they build their little enclaves and they isolate themselves. And let's face it, the American dream that is sold to immigrants looks like the Brady Bunch. It looks like Leave It to Beaver. Looks like white man, blonde woman, 2.5 kids, a dog named Fido, a station wagon, and a house with a white picket fence in a McDonald's commercial. When they say the American dream, that is what people are talking about. And that is what people from other countries strive for. The American dream doesn't look like us. To be American is to be anti-black. The two are synonymous. America was built on anti-blackness. And so I did an Instagram post today, and I said, Miami is a very unique place, and I believe it at that. And it's just so weird how everybody came up under the post, and they already knew what I was talking about. A lot of people were like, them damn Cubans. You must be talking about the Cubans. You must be talking about the Cuban community. And I am talking about the Cuban and the Latino community. And here's what I want to offer you guys for those who are asking me what it is about Miami. Miami is a very, 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 very special place for the Cuban community and the Latino community. It's one of few, if not only, places in America where they get to live like white people. They truly get to get all the benefits and all the glory and everything that being white affords you in America, because they are the political stronghold here. They are the dominant culture here. They've penetrated every area of government, every area of industry, every area of business, small business, all the neighborhoods. They run things here in South Florida. And, you know, there's a lot of black people and people of color who carry a lot of resentment for that. I particularly don't, because I understand the psychology of it. I mean, that's what the fuck you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get in position, and you're supposed to put your people on, and you're supposed to lend your resources to your values and to your political candidate and to what best benefits your community. I'm not mad with folks for doing what it is they're supposed to do for their respective communities. You know, when I made the decision to move back here from Atlanta, I had to say to myself, Q, moving back to Miami, you got to realize that all this black superstardom and all this black prosperity that you see in Atlanta, you're giving all that up. That you are moving to Miami, and please expect to have a Latin experience. For right now, I'm cool with it. Now, a lot of people perceive the Cubans here in Miami to be racist. And I know that you can use anti-black and racist synonymously and interchangeably, but I'd like to say I was going to say, I think, you know, a large majority of them are just anti-black, as is a lot of other cultures. But I guess now that I think about it, I mean, anti-black kind of is racist in a sense. But explaining the uniqueness, it's about proximity to whiteness. You know, globally, America has a reputation that white is right and black is bad. And so, you know, the closer you are to whiteness, the more you feel empowered, the more you feel good, the more you feel like you're living the American dream, the more you feel powerful, and that's what it is with that particular community. And it does suck for us, right? And I'm not attempting to excuse it away. I'm explaining it because I get the psychology of it all, and it fucking sucks. But that, in a nutshell, is what it is. Like, they really do view themselves the same way, you know, upper class white people in other states in America view themselves, because they do live the same lives. They control everything. So yeah, they're not experiencing much oppression here. And a lot of people think because, you know, we were brought here and because they're oppressed in their country, many of them are poor in their country, that we're supposed to kumbaya and have that in common and we should rally together. But the unfortunate thing is, for us, is that here in South Florida, that doesn't benefit them. They don't need us. That really is the short of it. They don't benefit from aligning with us. So if anything, you know, in their minds, we would literally be dead weight to them. Because they're not experiencing much oppression here because they are in charge of everything. So why are we going to align? If anything, we're going to align with the powerful, not the oppressed. And that's a large part of what it is here in South Florida. And now, you know, while we continue to lump the Latinos into the same bucket with the Latins that Trump is talking about building a wall and putting their people in cages, they don't see themselves that way. You'd be surprised with how many people of Latin descent have very negative views about immigration. You know, I have had conversations as recently as last night when somebody said out loud, I don't understand the Cuban community. He's talking about them and he's got their people locked in cages. And someone rebutted, no. He's not talking about everyone. He's talking about the illegals. He's talking about the illegals. And you look at them with the cock eye because it's like, bitch, at one point, your mammy was the illegals. And oh, how you forget that your ass was part of the illegals. But again, because they hold the political power here, the whole wet foot, dry foot policy, the minute they touch land in Miami, they instantly turn white. Because they are granted all the luxuries that being white affords someone. South Florida, Miami, Florida in particular, is one of few places that white people are not in charge. We've got some small pockets, some small boutique communities, but the Latino, in particular, the Cuban community, they are in charge and are running things. And because, in short, that they are able to live a life that affords them all the privileges of white people, and white is synonymous with American, they tend to take on their views, their way of thinking, their way of being, their political ideologies, because to be white is to be American. I hope that makes things a little more clear for y'all. Let's drop it in the comments and discuss. And I'll call y'all later. Bye.